And that's the history of what happened, because there was suing, showing the damage, the impact on people who died, who got addicted. And so the pharmaceutical companies were then tasked, they had to pay some money to the government, and then that went down towards states and towards communities. So every community in Massachusetts, the towns, and it's right on their website. Actually, Stephen can speak to that specifically because he's done so much research and background on that. But every community was allotted a certain percentage of that. And so now we have funding, but it's very strict in how it could be used. The purpose is not to supplant something that the town already has, not to use it for something that we might need for the town because of budget issues, but really the purpose of it is to be a benefit. And that leads into the opioid survey, because as we had the discussion at the task force, we have lots of great ideas, right? I mean, Stephen, people on the task force, including one of our board members, have a lot of great ideas. But the problem is that really what's needed? And how are we going to know that? And that leads to the survey.
So the survey, first of all, how can people take the survey, be a part of the survey? I assume it's online?
It is. So it's on the Town of North Attleboro's website. If you click on the tab that brings you to different departments, if you go to the health department.
So on the home page up above is government.
Yes.
And then you would go down to, is it Board of Health? Or
Health Department.
Health Department.
You would go to the health department, and then you'll see a link to the survey there.
Okay. And how many questions?
6 questions. It takes less than 2 minutes on average to
Multiple
complete.
choice, I hope?
Yes, yes, multiple choice.
Yes.
And we've had 230 people take the survey so far. It's been open for about a week and a half. And CareMass is the organization that oversees opioid settlement funds and is involved with making recommendations to municipalities on what's appropriate to use the funding on and what is not appropriate. And they're involved with auditing these communities. So it's a requirement for towns that receive funding to solicit feedback from the community to ask them, how do you think we should spend this funding? And so sending the survey out to the community accomplishes that goal.
So the questions and the options that you have to choose from, were those pre-approved as to, yes, indeed, this is what that money can be used for?
So I wrote the first draft of the survey, and I sent it to everybody else in the opioid task force, the police, fire chief, town manager, everybody involved. And we came up with 6 questions that really got at what we're looking for. One of the questions is open-ended, asking people, how do you think we should use the funding? Another is multiple choice, and we gave them a list of 5 different community programs. Which would they like to see supported in the community? Programs ranging from supporting sober homes and granting them funding. Another option is funding for school systems, the North Attleboro school system to pay for services for students. And so we've been really successful in getting a lot of feedback from residents so far, so it's been pretty encouraging.